Hey, everybody, welcome back to Pro AV today. You'll see we're actually not in our normal studio. I'm actually out in Vegas at a trade show this week, but wanted to have this conversation with a gentleman who really is on the forefront of what's happening in residential technology. And, when you think about home entertainment, and residential technology as a whole, it's something that's been on the mind of residential integrators and hardware manufacturers for years. But, when you look at the pandemic and increases in technology, connectivity, Wi-Fi speeds, things like that. The future of home entertainment continues to evolve at a very rapid pace. And to talk about that, like I said, brought on a good, really someone who's got their finger on the pulse of what's happening, not only on the home entertainment side, but eventually some of that commercial entertainment as well. That's Stéphane Vidal over from D-Box. Stéphane, thanks so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you very much, Ben, for having me today. Really excited to share with you some insight and thoughts.
Stéphane, when we talk about the evolution of in-home entertainment, right, it goes all the way back to, 20, 30 years ago, people just kind of getting those first meaningful surround sound systems in the home, adding projection, things like that. And it continues to evolve. But, in your opinion, where are we right now in the life cycle of in-home entertainment?
Well, but you're right. So over the last couple of years, there was a lot of emphasis on the sound, so the sound system, the Dolby, all of that. And when people go to cinema, they have that type of experience, but they're also looking for something else. And I think that the haptic technology, which is what D-Box does, and just for people to understand, so haptic, it's all related to motion, texture, and vibration. So it provides an immersive experience because the content is normally encoded according to the action in the movie, to the sound in the movie, and we've seen, especially with the COVID, we've seen a growth in the demand for another type of experience than what they were experiencing at home in their during the pandemic. So people want to live something else. We've seen growth, as I said, in home entertainment, in our theatrical home entertainment sector, as well as in simulation racing. We're also in that sector. So D-Box does not provide seats or does not manufacture seats, does not manufacture racing rigs. All we do is we provide the haptic technology on those devices. But there's a trend. There's more and more people want to experience something that is different from what they've experienced in the past, and we've seen some growth in theatrical. For instance, we've had our best months ever this summer. So it's because people after the pandemic, they want to see and experience, as I said, something else.
Well, I think it can all be wrapped up really by this bucket of experiential and immersive entertainment. And a lot of that you mentioned, Stéphane, honestly comes from the expectation of having a theatrical experience in the home. And when you look at the influence of the theater, whether it's, the incredible technology that you guys implemented D-Box, with the moving chairs and the haptics and things like that, or all the way down to, we talked about some of those surround sound systems, high def projection, things like that. How important is how important has that at theater experience been to inform the now at home experience?
In fact, that's a really good question, and that's a challenge I have as a marketer. It's really for me to try to explain what is the haptic experience, and seriously, you can describe it in words. You can show, you can do some videos to present what it is, but the real way to understand what it changes in terms of experience when watching a movie is really to go to a theater and sit in an haptic chair. And usually when people experience it, most of the time for the next movies, next action or horror movies, they go in D-Box, and if they can afford it at home. Usually it's easier to sell than for people that have not experienced it. And that's the challenge that I have as a marketer, is really to try to explain what it changes in terms of experience when you watch a movie or when you race in a racing rig.
Well, you bring up kind of some of those other applications of haptic technology, uh, but it's interesting to see really how not only residential is pulled from some of that theatrical technology, but even things like amusement parks and what we'll call 4D rides and things like that have had an influence on user expectations. In addition to that haptic technology, what are some of the things that you're seeing demand for from an end user perspective in the home?
Well, as I said, I think people want to see something else. They want to experience something else. Aptic is one of them. There's also, let's say, comfortable seats, comfortable chairs, and there's more and more. Obviously, with the pandemic, the streaming has become, let's say, a huge family activity, and we don't see the demand for streaming decreasing. Disney is recruiting members quite rapidly. Netflix is still a bit growing, or they're stable. So people want to be able to watch TV series whenever they want, and when they do that, usually they binge a TV series, and they want to be in an environment that is comfortable, and they want to have, let's say, an experience that is a bit different from the traditional TV. And yeah, so Aptic is obviously a trend, but I think it's people are investing in their to be in a comfortable environment and in a fun environment.
Well, that naturally kind of leads me to the next question. One of the challenges historically about the residential market is because we've been um, changing so rapidly, and technology keeps changing so rapidly. It's been harder for the integrators, the installers, the home designers to kind of keep up with it. What are some of the things, especially as somebody who's consistently on the forefront of that innovation? What are some of the things that you guys are prescribing to integrators and installers, especially as it comes to market education and things like that?
Yeah. So D-Box doesn't sell directly to consumers. So we use channel partners. AV guys are obviously one of our best allies when it comes a time to install, let's say, home theater systems. And what we do is we provide them with all the tools that they need in order to be able to convince their customers to acquire like D-Box seats or the Aptic technology from a seat vendor. And one of the things that we recently done, and we were at CEDIA, as you know, a couple of weeks ago, we developed like a 12 minutes video that is showcasing a bit what is D-Box, the type of experience, with a couple of videos, movie videos or movie clips for different type of movies, like could be music movies, could be horror movies or action movies. And so we're providing the partners with that type of video that they can use in their showroom, or that they can use when presenting the solution to their own customers. We also have on the website, when the partner becomes an official D-Box partner, we have a series of video of how to install all of that. And we provide, I don't want to say 24/7 support, but let's say that we're available during business hours, and we provide all the support that they need when it comes a time to install or troubleshooting issues and all of that. But D-Box seats usually they don't require a lot of maintenance. In some theatrical, we've had systems that are in place for more than 10 years without a lot of maintenance. So it's basically software update. But other than that, it performs well, and it's easy to maintain as a partner.
Well, look, you talk about that importance of immersive technology and experiential entertainment as a whole, right? And obviously that ends up spilling outside of the residential market a little bit. One of the things that you mentioned earlier was that simulation world. But what are some of the ways that you're seeing the haptic and immersive technology spill even outside of traditional at-home entertainment and in-theater experience?
Yeah, well, it's and D-Box is basically, it's all about the experience. So what we want to do is we want to enhance the traditional experience. So we're really in 6 sectors. So on the commercial side, obviously theatrical. We have over 800 screens all around the world with partners such as Cinemark, Oitz in Australia, Kinopolis in Germany, Cineplex in Canada, obviously. So we're working with them at obviously deploying like either full room, full D-box room, or usually it's a couple of rows. We are also in simulation and training. So you have companies such as Caterpillar, John Deere. They have like machinery systems that they want to train their people on how to use those machines, and D-box provides the motion that is improving the reality of the experience. And then you have theme parks or attractions. So in some games we're like the Intel inside those games, so people don't notice that we're there, but we are there. And then on the home entertainment, you have obviously the home theatrical home entertainment, and then you have gaming. So we're launching early next year with a partner called Cooler Master, the first haptic gaming chair. So you'll be able to game, but at the same time, the chair will be moving. So the similar experience to what you have in theaters, but for gamers, and that market, as you can imagine, is very big for us. We're in discussions with a couple of other partners, but it looks very well, very promising as a market. And then you have simulation, racing simulation. This is really also, this is booming. This is a sector that is growing. You have more and more people that have like a racing rig with the chassis, the seat, the pedal set, the wheel, and they have the screens, obviously. And some systems can, let's say, it goes from, I would say, $5,000-$6,000 up to a couple of $100,000. There's some of our partners that are manufacturing. For instance, I went to see Vesaro, a partner of us in UK recently, and they're manufacturing high-end sim racing rigs. And the guy, the guy has a Porsche GT3, and they're recreating the same environment, but in a rig. So the same Porsche pedal set, the Porsche wheel, all of that. So that guy will be able to virtually race exactly like if he was driving his car. And obviously is saving on gas, is saving on time on the track and all of that. So, and frankly speaking, when you talk to those guys, they say that the experience with the haptics is really, really close to what it is of really driving a car. So you have that, and we didn't talk about metaverse, but obviously metaverse can be something that is we don't know exactly what's going to be the.
Nobody does. It's
nobody does. But as you can imagine, let's say that you have someone that is in a digital environment with an Oculus, let's say. Headset lens, and then seated in an haptic gaming chair or an haptic home theater chair. So the experience would be enhanced with the haptic, obviously. So we don't know exactly what's going to be, but this could be promising. We don't know yet.
Well, look, I'll ask the question then. You talk about the metaverse, and there's a lot of unknowns with that, and a lot of unknowns with technological innovation happening over the next 10 to 20 years. But if you had a crystal ball, what would you say are some of the core, most amazing things that are going to be happening in the next 10 to 20 years with haptic technology?
Well, I think that the haptic technology, so today the way that it works normally, and there's two things. You have linear content and you have the dynamic content. Linear content is a movie, so it's really predictable. The movie doesn't change. The end of the movie is still the same. So what we do is we encode the movie. We're adding an haptic track. And for a movie, it takes between, I would say, 100 to 120 hours to encode a movie like an Avatar or Top Gun. And then when the movie is encoded, obviously, you start the movie, the haptic track is, the movie is recognized by the system, and then the haptic track starts. In gaming, it's a bit different because you never know what's going to be the end game or the game action itself. So the way it works is that when they code a game, they have different events, And then what we do is we add motion to some of these events. And an event could be like being shot in the back or walking on, let's say, gravel or something like that. So, and when the event is triggered within the game, then obviously it triggers the motion in the scene. So this is the way it works today. We're working on something that will allow to game or watch a movie without the game or the movie being encoded. So based on the audio, based on AI, so we have we're working on two modes that are called adaptive gaming and adaptive mode and audio mode. And those two modes will allow the consumer to experience haptic, but without us to obviously encode the movie or the game. And today we have approximately 2,500 movies and games available. So with those two new modes, it will open the haptic to all the games and to all the movies. So the experience will be a bit different. The haptic won't be as precise as if the movie has or the game was encoded, but still a very good experience.
Well, look, and I fully expect that technology with the gaming haptics to end up in people's home theaters or living rooms as well. But hey, Stéphane, I appreciate you coming on today. You know, your insight is incredible, and I love the great work you guys are doing over at D-Box, especially with the innovation in haptic technology. It really is the next generation of experiential entertainment.
Right.
But I appreciate you coming on. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much, Ben.
And thank you guys for watching as well. Be sure to tune in next time.